Test, 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 test. Well, here we are again, Matt 2024, and we're live. Hooray, hooray, hooray. We're at the OTR Performance booth. I am here with my new best friend, Matt Eso, not to be confused with Esso, the petroleum company, if you're from Canada.
If there was one more S, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Well, Matt has a YouTube channel called The Little Guy Trucker, or no, yeah.
The Little Guy Show.
Oh, sorry, The Little Guy Show.
It's right there.
Why can't I read?
That's it. We're not best friends anymore.
Why can't I read?
That's
anyway, let's start over. Hi, I'm Steve.
Closer?
Hi, I'm Steve. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
meet you. And, yeah. Well, Matt, you've been doing this for how long? How long have you been doing this YouTube thing,
a little over 12 years.
12 years.
But first, hey, before we get started, how about everybody here make some noise real quick? Give yourselves a round of applause. Look at all these people sitting right here watching
That's
this.
awesome.
This is awesome. Thank you
That's
so
right.
much
That's
for
right.
coming to see my ugly mug.
Right?
But
well,
that's awesome.
I wouldn't
awesome.
be so hard on yourself.
So check, yeah.
You know, I'd be harder. Harder. I don't know why I said that. I know.
So anyway, my YouTube channel
Right.
started day one of truck driving school 12 years ago. And
Yeah, I'm going to push this a little closer.
a little closer? Just a little bit closer.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so now we're
Ooh, do you like
sounding
that? See?
better.
There you go.
All right, anyway.
This summer.
So I learned about trucking from watching YouTube videos. And back then, there was maybe a handful of YouTube truckers. You know, you had Jerry Ott from Big Rig Talk.
Okay.
And you had there was like maybe 5 of them.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
Big Cat Trucker. You know, and I mean, those were my icons. Those were who I was like fanboying about. You know,
Right,
but I
right.
learned a lot from watching their videos about how to get into trucking and what to expect, and you know. I'd be sitting there watching the videos and learning a lot. And my dad would be like, you can't learn anything from watching a YouTube video. I'm like, well, Dad, if you go on Google, and there's nothing but forums of drivers, you know, bad-mouthing each other and complaining.
Yeah,
but here on
a lot of
YouTube,
complaining,
this
yeah.
guy is actually showing me what to expect. So when I was getting ready to go to school, you know, the night before in the hotel, I was on the phone with my dad, and I said, Dad, what should my CB handle be? You know, and we were just joking out, and I was like, I don't know, I still, 12 years ago, I can't remember why I thought of Little Guy. You know, but I was like, how about Little Guy, you know? He's like, oh, that's pretty cool, yeah. And it just stuck, you know, it stuck, you know. So the very next day was day one of school, and I pulled out my iPhone 4S and said, hey, everybody, this is me at the school, day one, and I just kept rolling from there, you know, day 2, day 3, showing, hey, this is what we did today. You know, this is, you know, and then we graduated school, and then I went to Werner Enterprises, my first company. And, you know, by the graces of God, I had a really good trainer. You know, my trainer, you know, because you hear all the horror stories about going through training.
They were just, you know, I was talking to some influencers earlier in the week, and they were saying, you know, the training right now is just, they're so lacking common sense, you know, and then a lot of the training is, you know, you have a pulse, let me kick you out the door.
Yeah.
You know, what do you have to say about that?
You know, if you're going to be a trainer and commit to doing that, then you have to train. You can't just let these guys hold the steering wheel and get their hours in.
Right.
You know, and like I said, thank God, you know, I had a good trainer. He taught me everything I needed to know. And, you know, I videotaped and YouTubed everything. I even helped him make a YouTube channel. And shout out to Trainer James if you're watching out there. That's his YouTube.
Trainer James.
Yeah.
All right.
So he made a YouTube channel about being a trainer. And then my channel just kept evolving, you know. So I think it was like my 3rd month in. I had just became a qualified driver. I was on the yard at the Werner Enterprise Terminal in Atlanta. And I'm walking around the yard going to my truck. And a guy walks up, hey, you're that guy from YouTube. And I'm like... At the time, I had like 500 subscribers, you know? But it was consistently growing. So I noticed that what I was doing is working, you know? My channel has like more of a comedic, goofy, funny, educational, inspirational feel to it, you know?
Well, it's lighthearted, but informational. And, you know, I say this about every YouTuber, you know, that I meet, because I meet thousands. No. But, you know, the ones that have a big following, it's very like, what's the recipe? You know, how, like, if you ever want to know what the recipe is for success on YouTube, it's transparency and honesty.
Exactly.
Because you rip on yourself, you're joking, and I mean, and your fans don't, you know, some of those comments, man, they
They're
don't go
brutal.
easy on you.
They're brutal.
They do
No,
not
yeah.
go easy. But that's what your channel is, because you're offering that. You know,
Yeah, like within my first 6 months of driving a truck, I did a video called "I Hit a Dumpster," and I did. You
Yeah.
know, I was still brand new in the game, and I was working local with Warner, delivering you know, building materials and whatnot on flatbed to Home Depot stores.
right.
And you know, back then technology was still in its infancy. You know, like I do a video on trip planning, on how to use Google Earth satellite view.
Yeah.
To verify that whatever the bill of lading says, that's the actual truck entrance. Because a lot of times you'll get the bill of lading and you'll put it in your GPS, and then you'll get
Right.
there and it's the employee entrance, it's the car entrance.
So now you're just
So now, and the loading docks, the truck entrance is on another road somewhere down the block. So I did a video on how to properly trip plan the right way with Google Earth satellite view, and said, hey guys, look, if you're, you know, if this is the place, put it in the GPS, verify on satellite view that that's where the truck entrance is, because that's what I did wrong. I went in, filed the GPS, and now I'm nosed into the loading dock area, and I can't turn around. So I had to back out with a spread axle
Yeah.
flatbed,
Yeah.
and I hit a dumpster. You know, I tapped into a dumpster, you know, and I made a video about
anybody
the
could have
whole
done it.
thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid, you know. I called the company first and said, hey, I hit a dumpster. They're like, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a video about it now.
I'm gonna put it on the internet.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
okay, yeah.
and that's one thing about my channel that always worked, was I was always honest. I didn't fabricate anything, you know?
I wonder what people did before GPS. Are we talking about printing out MapQuest?
I came, like I said, I came in 2012, and they were still teaching that it was a good thing to have an atlas in the truck, and I learned how to use the atlas. You
Right.
know?
Oh, yeah.
But I give credit where credit's due. Like if you like, there's certain truck stops you can go to today that still have the empty phone booth row, and back then that's what truckers did. They would get on a payphone.
Yeah.
And call the shipper. Hey, I'm about 20 miles out.
Right.
Hey, yeah, make a left here, make a right there. And I'm like, oh, could you imagine?
Well, there was.
I would be.
I don't know where
MapQuest,
we
could you-
were.
You know?
We were somewhere, I mean, California, and there was a truck stop. Oh yeah, it's in California. It was a truck stop, and there was a payphone there. It didn't work.
Yeah, there's.
But I was like,
certain-
I need
yeah.
a picture of this.
Yeah, there's certain.
And then I was like, I can't believe I
TAs
touched this.
Certain TAs and Petros that still have. There's no phone booths in them, but
Yeah.
they're there.
Yeah.
And if you know, then you know what they were. You know, so give credit where credit is due. That was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you even look deeper into the history of trucking, before trucks had sleepers,
Right.
these truck stops had bunk rooms. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was
Like,
I was in the Navy for 6 years, so I know what
Oh,
it's like.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was. I know what it's like to sleep on the top bunk of 3 bunks.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, so you see these pictures. You know, you look up the history of trucking, and truckers would drive during the day and get to a truck stop, and there would be a bunk room, a bunk house, and they were, you know, 4 or 5 bunks high, you know, and
Right.
that's where they would sleep. You know, and then you hear the stories about before there was power steering, before there was air
can't even
conditioning.
imagine
And
that.
you see pictures of the guy with his hand through the steering wheel to shift, because there was 2 shifters or 3 shifters back
With the
then.
cigarette
Yes,
and the coffee.
yeah. So, I mean, we've got it so much easier now with FaceTime to stay in contact with your family and
Right.
everything. And,
Yeah.
you know, like when I was in the military, you know, and I was overseas, you know, even with the technology we had 2000s and all the way, we had Skype, you know, but
Oh, I
when
remember
you're
Skype.
overseas, the
Yep.
Skype would come in, it would come out, you know, but we still had it, you
Very
know.
grainy.
Yeah, but now, you know, here in the trucking industry, FaceTime, you know, or any type of video chat
All of
is
it.
on the fly, you know, and it's great to help stay in contact with your, because like I said, I don't know how those guys did it back then.
Yeah.
Those were a different breed of people.
Oh, for sure,
You know,
for
and-
sure. But those are the mentors. Those are the folks that should be passing down, you know, all of the tricks of the trade, you know, all of the information. But, you know,
there are some.
Are people receptive?
Well,
that's the thing.
You guys were talking about that yesterday. Where, the industry, the people in the industry, the type, like back in the day, even when I was a company driver, I would polish and wash and clean the truck.
Yeah.
And people would say
pride
to me,
in your truck.
Exactly. People would say to me, "Why are you doing that to a company truck?" I'm like, "I live in the thing, dude."
Right.
Well, why not want to have it look, and your truck's a representation of you.
Right.
We've all seen trucks out there that are just complete rolling garbage boxes.
Yeah.
I even do a video on, like getting pulled into a weigh station, stuff like the tips and tricks, and like one of the things is. And I even did a video with the DOT inside the weigh station to showcase how they, like, how you got the pre-pass?
Right.
And if it blinks red, you got to pull in. If it blinks green, you can keep going. Well, their system in there is so elaborate. Like, they could, like, it says weigh in motion. That thing really does work. And then all the cameras they have. So the first thing they see when you're pulling into the weigh station is the front of the truck. Now, if you've got potato chip bags and Mountain Dew bottles and stuff all over your dashboard, they're going to, hey, let's pull him in to see what kind of garbage box this is,
Right.
So,
what else you got in there? Yeah.
I mean,
keeping it clean.
And that's one thing about the channel that, I like, that was so helpful to people was I put out information that was relevant and I tell it just like I'm talking to you. I am who I am in person that I am on camera.
Right.
I don't put on this big show for people.
Yeah,
so
it is who you are. Well, it's the 2024 Matt's show, everybody. Day 3. Everybody thought we weren't going to make it, but we proved them wrong, didn't we, Matt? We proved them wrong because we're here.
Prepared to come to this show.
We're here. There's only a few hours left of the show. I hope folks are really getting their steps in. That's the main thing, right?
I did over 8 miles yesterday alone.
8 miles. We should, there should be app for Matt's folks that everybody that shows up.
Contest.
Steps contest, right?
Yeah.
So Matt, you were mentioning, Matt's on a channel, The Little Guy Show. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. He was one of the first folks to first trucker influencers to kind of take over.
First, yeah.
One of the first. One of my favorites.
Well, thank you.
So Matt, you were in the Navy, and I feel like there's this common thread with everybody. Like, how many truckers do you know that are former military?
Oh, there's a lot of former military, veteran drivers. What branch? What branch?
There you go.
Oh hell, no, I'm just kidding. And the Marines are we're their taxi cab basically. The Navy is the Marines' taxi cab.
You guys can start.
We're their Uber,
Right, you're the Uber, the Nuber, yeah.
No, but I think that
Why do you think that is?
Here's what I can tell you. I think that a lot of veterans decide to get into trucking because of when you're in the military, you follow a plan. There's a plan of the day, okay, and there's a lot of camaraderie in the military, and there's a lot of that in trucking. So you get used to the same thing over and over again, and you get comfortable with it. And I think that a lot of veterans decide to come into trucking because they can get into that same rhythm again, and they're comfortable with it. And as they continue to grow in the industry, and maybe they'll become an owner-operator or whatnot, and they'll be able to set their own pace,
Right.
Like right now, I started my career out as a driver, and I don't even drive anymore. I'm the director of recruiting and marketing for TRC Freight.
Yeah.
Our company's a little over 3 years old, and it primarily caters exclusively to owner-operators. So if you have your own truck, right, and you don't have the funds to go and get your own authority and all, because it's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So we provide an environment where it makes it very simple for the owner-operator to be successful. So if you have your own truck, you could bring it over and run under our numbers. We could provide plates, trailers, IFTA, everything else, the ELD.
Yeah.
And we to be competitive, we make it very simple with all the fixed costs. Like, for instance, we do 82% of the revenue to the driver if they self-dispatch themselves.
I am not in the industry, but I'm going to shake my head like that's amazing.
I mean,
but it is,
I've heard of some companies doing more, but
okay.
I mean, Here's to prove a point. We are a little over 3 years old. We have over 70 trucks that are all owner-operators on the road right now.
Wow.
3 years and over 70 trucks. And here's another thing, too. We just bought a company out of Oklahoma City called Reed Transport. We bought them all the way out. Everything. Their trucks, their facility, their trailers, their shop even.
Right.
And we're going to take all that equipment and turn it into company drivers. So right now, if you live in the Oklahoma City area and you're looking for a great company driver position, hit me up. Shameless plug.
There you go. It's a shameless plug.
But yeah,
well, I think owner-operators have a real tough gig, especially right now. You know, I know that we had interviewed an influencer by the name of Beast Logan.
Yes.
Nice guy, man. He was super cool, and he had this. I forgot the name of his truck, but Beast Logan, shout out. But you know, he had to sell his truck, and he became a company driver.
Yeah.
But you know, the guy is just, you know, you can't keep a good man down.
No, you
can't.
know,
and he was just like, hey, it's the way it is. It's, you know, it's the up and down of the industry, and I'm just gonna ride the wave.
Yeah,
so,
and that's the trucking.
You know, it's up and it's down.
You couldn't have said it any better. The trucking industry is like a roller coaster.
Uh-huh.
And if you could prepare for the down part,
right,
and be ready for it, you'll be able. Because when you hit bottom, it's a springboard to get back to the top.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that's one thing about TRC Freight that sets us apart from other owner-operator companies.
Yep.
Myself and the owners and most of our staff, we were all drivers. So we know what it takes to succeed out there on the road. We know the sacrifices that are needed to be made to succeed.
Well, there's a lot of things that you can, you know, that owner-operators need, and working for a great company is a huge advantage.
It's a huge thing, yeah.
And even like any type of advantage you can get on the road is a huge help. You know, like, you know, us OTR Performance, we make a product called OTR Diagnostics, which plugs into your truck.
It'll be great for owner operators.
Plugs into your truck. It enables you to, you know, check that your truck's health by viewing live data. You can do dealer level commands like force a regen. So you can do that on your own time. Check your soot, ash level. Tons of cool things. I won't get into it. You can check us out online, but it's a way that it empowers the owner operator to do the repairs themselves.
Yeah.
It resets fault codes. You know, it gives you you know, the information on it, so you're prepared to go to a repair shop, or maybe you can limp it to that repair shop and you avoid a tow. I mean, when you were out there on the road, did you ever have to get a tow, or were you ever break down?
Yeah, so I had a brand new Volvo when the new body styles came out back in 2019.
Okay.
Had maybe 4,000 or 5,000 miles on the truck, and the lights come on like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a brand new truck. Like, really? Now?
Right.
And I was in the middle of nowhere, just south of Springfield, Missouri. You know, maybe like 2 hours in the middle of nowhere. And
from now on, if anybody says a location, we always got to use Albuquerque.
Yeah, I was near Albuquerque.
You were in Albuquerque. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
So I called Volvo Uptime, and the lady on the phone was able to plug in virtually or whatever wirelessly to my truck, and she's like, "Yeah, you got something wrong with the DPF system, sensors, yada yada yada." I'm like, she's like, "You got to get a tow," and I'm like,
"Okay."
Yeah, how am I gonna get it? I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's gonna cost me a fortune
to
get a tow. Long story short, I called my sales rep at Volvo, and I said, "Hey, look, Volvo Uptime is saying this. They're saying you need a tow." He's like, "Look, just drive the truck." I'm like, "Well, can you order me this part so when I swing by I could?" He's like, "Look, no. The truck is so new that the parts are still on intergalactic back order." Those were his exact words, and I love that phrase. So, but he's like, I said, "Listen, if I drive the truck, I'm not going to avoid the warranty or nothing's going to." He's like, "No, just drive the truck. It's just a sensor." Okay, cool. So from then on there, I would tell, you know, because drivers experience this all the time. I don't care what kind of truck you're driving. It's new, it's old, Peterbilt, Volvo, whatever. The stupid sensors are going to trip, and it's going to throw the whole system in disarray. This is my motto. If you've got good oil pressure and good water temperature and you don't see pistons coming through the hood, just drive the truck. Just drive the truck. Don't worry about the lights. They look pretty.
Yeah, right. Know? Have you ever heard the analogy of...
It's only when they're twinkling that you should start worrying. If they start blinking, you might need to pull over.
Or if everything just shuts off.
Yeah.
That's a problem, too. Yeah. Have you ever heard the analogy of electrical tape over...
Yeah, we hear that all the time.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Well, okay. We're just.
But
we're
I
thinking
don't even
about-
do the electrical. I'm just like, look, I like
Yeah.
to know that the light's on. Hey, look, the system is still working at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Because if the lights go off, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Well, why is the light off now?
Something isn't right. Something is not right.
Exactly.
Oh man. So you are not driving anymore, and you're. Well, I guess my question is, why do you think it's so hard for the owner operator right now? Like what are the factors that are just kind of making it so hard?
And that's why I was saying before, one of the things that TRC Freight does differently,
Right.
The main thing is like I said, we were all drivers before. We've been to multiple companies. We started out at the bottom just like everybody else as a company driver.
Yep.
And you get the old saying, you call into your dispatcher, fleet man, what's your truck number? Not hello, how are you? What's your truck number?
Right.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
We get to know our drivers,
That's good.
And that way when they call in, hey, you've been with us a couple of months, I don't need to know your truck number. I know who you are. And I think that when you have that back office support,
Yeah.
to like, hey, I'm at a shipper, they're not loading me, I'm gonna be late to my next to the receiver. Hey, don't worry, we got you. We're gonna get with dispatch, we're gonna get with the shipper, we're gonna get with the receiver, and just let us know when you get loaded, and we'll set the time accordingly.
Right.
Whereas a lot of other companies, and I've experienced this, you'll call in, hey, what's your truck number, hogwash, and then you'll get, oh, let me transfer you to this department, and then before you know it, you're on the phone for 3 hours and you're getting nothing done, and you finally reach somebody and they're like, okay, let us know when you're loaded, right?
Right.
And now it's 12 hours later, and you call in, and now somebody else is on the phone, and they don't know, there was no turnover, so they don't know what's going on. They didn't make a note in the system or whatever, and now you're back to square one trying to explain this whole thing over again, and then they want to know why you're late.
Yeah.
Well, I told so-and-so. So, in a nutshell, what we do at TRC Freight is we cut out all that stuff. Look, hey, if I go by 4 main core values that I stand by when I look to hire a driver. 4 simple things, okay? 1 is safety. 2 is communication.
C.
3 is getting your loads delivered on time. And 4 is taking care of your equipment. If you could do those 4 simple things, the rest is easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The rest is
no,
easy.
I mean, core values are huge. We stand by our core values here at OTR Performance. Let's just do a reset. 2024 Mats, everybody. 2024 Mats, day 3. We are here with Matt. ESO. I almost said ESO because I was, well, we're from Michigan, and there used to be this ESO gas station. You know what I'm talking about?
By the way, we got a special guest in the audience for those of you watching.
ESO, right? Yeah.
For those of you watching, we have a special guest in the audience, and just want to let him know that I'm very comfortable in this chair.
Well, we did
with
have
my
Ike from Bonehead.
Extra medium.
These guys.
Sure, we could do that.
On
right?
the same.
Can we do that? They want us to. They want to compare the size difference.
Yeah, right.
Come on up here. Come on. You can steal some of my. No, come on. Are you going to take a picture? Are you going to take a picture? Or are you taking a video? Oh, he's live.
Oh, he's live. Oh, he's
Well,
telling his friends
look,
about it.
we got to give the fans what they want. I'm inviting you onto my show.
All right. Hey, everybody. Let's give a round of applause here. Give a round of applause. We got Ike from Bonehead Truckers, everybody.
All right. Now, what's the name of your channel? Yeah. Okay, we'll have to check them. NFT ... All right. But anyway, but yeah. So
well, we're here. Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say to everybody, we're here with the Little Guy Show, talking smack. No, talking about the trucking industry and all things trucking. Now, Matt, you have your pulse on the industry. You obviously it's part of your job. You're recruiting people. What qualifications are you looking for an owner-operator?
So for owner-operators and company drivers the company division that we're starting.
Yeah.
So we're going to have owner-operators, and we're having our own company driver division of the company. for our insurance company and our requirements, you need to have at least 2 years of recent verifiable experience.
Okay.
Okay. You got to have a good, clean driving record.
Right.
You got to,
Easy.
and here's the thing. Like, I go through the application, like, with a fine-tooth comb. So, like, if you put on your application that you don't have any violations or accidents, I'm going to find it.
I'll find
you.
We'll find you.
And that's the crazy part. I can dig and find it. So I tell people during the interview process, look, be honest with me. Tell me everything now, so that way, if I find it, we don't have to worry about it later. Because
is there something you're not telling me?
Hey,
no, I'm clean.
Is this something you want to tell me?
It'd be easier if you just said it right now.
Tell me now, so I don't have to find it later.
If I find it later, you're going to be in more trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
I'm looking, for our company, we're looking for, professionals that want to succeed and want to have a place to call home, because that's another problem in the industry is there's a lot of job hopping. Drivers jumping from company to company.
It's the loyalty thing,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's because everybody's not treated the same, and promises are made.
Oh yeah,
right.
And that's one thing that I don't do as a recruiter. I would rather be brutally honest with you and tell you something that hurts, show you the truth that hurts, than be like, and then you come on board with us and it's like, well, it's the old adage, the recruiter lied to me.
Right.
I remember when I joined the Navy, he was like, oh yeah, you accelerate your life, and here
Be
I
all
am
you can
mopping
be.
the
Oh, wait, that's
floor
something
and
else, yeah.
cooking, and I'm like, I don't remember
I
seeing
didn't
this in
sign
the
up for this.
brochure.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, everybody, it's Matt's 2024. We're here with the Little Guys Show. We got about 2 minutes left. Matt,
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Matt, shameless plug time. What are you promoting? How can people check out your show? How can people get involved with everything you've been doing, man? Go ahead.
So, like I said, my channel started out as a driver.
And now we only have a minute and a half, so go ahead. Now we only have a minute. And we're done. Thanks a lot, everybody. What?
Anyway, I started out as a driver, documenting my day in the life of a truck driver, and all my videos are still there from day one. You could you can go back and watch that very first video on the iPhone 4S today if you wanted to.
Right.
Just hit the little tab and go
to
the
a younger,
oldest video.
less stressed
Oh
Matt.
my God. But now the channel's kind of going full circle, because I was a driver and now I'm in the upper echelons of the, in the office management team.
You crossed the line.
And we'll be able to document and show what it's like behind the scenes at a trucking company that actually cares about their drivers, number one.
That's cool.
And we'll be able to kind of go full circle and show progression, because a lot of drivers, especially us veterans, hey, how can I advance?
Right.
How can I move
Where
up
do I
in the
go?
world? Do I want to always be a driver?
What's the end game?
And
Yeah.
it's great that, myself and, our owners at TRC Freight, like I said, we were all drivers, and they started the company. They brought me in to help grow it, and watching previous drivers now that have their own company and are building and putting drivers on that are successful and sticking around.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge deal. You know, that's a huge deal. So
well, retention, all of it, but that just comes back to the honesty and transparency
Exactly.
of the company and you as a person, really.
If you
in
don't
the YouTube
build
channel.
it in the recruiting stages, if you don't plant good roots, so to
Right.
speak, you're not going to have a big tree.
Yeah.
If
So
if you
true.
need an analogy, but
And then you have to water it, and then pruning.
exactly.
And then what happens if you get like little bugs on it? What
You
do you
have
do?
to- you-
What do you
well,
do with that? And then
sometimes
Christmas time comes,
sometimes you got to
decorate
trim the
it.
fat. But yeah, check
Trim the
me,
hedges, yeah.
Check me out on YouTube, The Little
Perfect.
Guy Show, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you guys can send me emails, DMs, whatever. I respond to all the comments and emails and questions,
And this guy's very connected. So if 6 degrees of Matty, so I think he's like Ike's like no, he doesn't know anybody. Well, thanks so much, everybody. Matt's 2024. Stick around. Next up, we have Truck It with Zeke, right? What do we got?
Yeah.
Thank you very We got coming up, and that's it. Matt, thank you so
Hey,
much.
thanks so much for having me, brother.
Yeah, Zeke Dog Trucking's
It's a
coming up
pleasure.
next, everybody. Stick around.